Good afternoon, everyone. It is your boy Shad Talks Graps, and we are back with another episode of the Wrestling Republic Daily Broadcast. We are a week away from WrestleMania. It is wild to think there's a lot going on this week on the Wrestling Republic channel, so I will first and foremost say that we got a lot of specials coming out with videos, so please, if you haven't already, like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification button because you won't want to miss any of it. But let's talk about last night, Friday Night SmackDown on the road to WrestleMania. It was an eventful one, and I'm excited to talk about it. I got a prestige panel today. First and foremost, from Philadelphia, fellow Eagles fan, Anthony. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing all right. You know, you're talking about the road to WrestleMania. It is wild to me that we're 1 week out. I will be there with a number of Wrestling Republic crew members. And just in advance, when you're talking about special content, Clark and I have recorded at least 2 weeks worth of WrestleMania themed sold separately, which will be out sometime this week. I'm assuming Friday, like it normally is, but Ben's got to put that up. Yeah, I'm excited to talk about one of the last SmackDowns on the road to WrestleMania before it's actually in Vegas.
Nah, for sure. And yeah, definitely, I was definitely also implying to that. Sold separately is, man, it's a lot of content. I'll let y'all, I can't even like name it off the top of my head right now, but we got a schedule that'll be out on the graphic soon. And yeah, you are Mr. WrestleMania now. You've become Shawn Michaels, bro. 3 Manias in a row, right?
You know, Clark will probably get very mad at this, but especially since he's so involved with this. But you know, his Chiefs didn't get a three-peat, but I'm getting mine this year. Yeah, I've never envisioned doing 3 in a row, and the fact that, you know, that's happening, and it feels like it was just last year that it was in Philly and I was going to that. And you know, I want to keep the streak going. I said to somebody, I said, the next WrestleMania that I have to watch from my couch, I am not going to be happy.
Oh man, that's great. And now I'm excited for y'all. We got WR in the building. If y'all are going to Mania, also look out for Anthony. Look out for Clark, Kobe, Soul. They'll be in attendance. Say what's up to them. They'll probably have Wrestling Republic gear on, so you know, get a flick with them. Last but not least, from the city that never sleeps, the Queen of Wrestling Republic, the First Lady, Megan. How are you doing?
I am doing good. Unlike Anthony, I will not be at WrestleMania this year. I will be watching it from the comfort of my home. But, you know, with this build up, it has been slow. It's been a slow build up to WrestleMania, but it's starting to pick up steam. You know, it's starting to pick up steam a little bit. So I'm excited to see what these 18 hours worth of wrestling that we will be tuning into next week. Yes, 9 hours for night 1 and night 2 of WrestleMania. So I hope y'all get y'all sleep. I hope y'all energize drinks, you know, whatever it is that you will need, because yeah, we are going to be pulling triple shifts come next weekend.
No doubt. It's going to be great. Y'all going to see a lot of us on your screen. So, yeah, let's get into it. We got some comments in here. I got to show this one.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
Bad news. DJ Hayden needs the ticket. If you know, you know.
Tuna.
Oh, my God. That is so funny, man. Clark, salute to Clark, man. Chiefs, the Chiefs in the first 5 minutes. Man, also Bobby Petito showing love to Anthony. Awesome that
Thank
you're
you,
going
Bobby.
to 3 Manias, Anthony. Some love for Megan, of course. MDB doesn't give a damn about the rest of us, but cares about Megan. That's all that matters, you know.
Not that Shad's ranking any of the viewers right now.
Nah, I just won't show any more of his comments. Let's start with the man who was once the legend killer is now a legend, Randy Orton, coming out and having a bit of the exchange with Nick Aldis, teased the match that we all really want. Him and Nick Aldis, saying that he needs to have his WrestleMania match. Aldis, I don't know how he feels about it, but I thought that was interesting. Also, Randy letting him know that I paid you 10 racks because you knew I was going to RKO you again. But we get a little bit of an exchange, and we get Solo Sikoa popping out, get a little bit of the banter between these two, and they had a main event. It was they came out, LA Knight comes out, and we get the tag team match, LA Knight and Randy Orton versus Solo and Tommy Tonga. The match happens, you know what I'm saying? LA Knight comes out with the win, and he gets attacked by Jacob Fatu. I mean, the main thing I came out of this is I'm really curious to see what the direction is going to be for Randy Orton. Obviously, we know that Kevin Owens is out. He is injured. And if I was a betting man, I'm assuming the match might be Solo Sikoa after last night. And I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it. It does feel like it is a placeholder opponent, but I don't know if it's just a tune to get Orton a match, or if this is something that could, really push us for something bigger. Obviously, we got the homie Solo, who does have a pretty crazy resume against legends, so this would be another one for him. But I don't know. I mean, I'm very kind of. It sucks because it is a series of unfortunate events, but we all led to here, and I kind of want to get what y'all think about what we got last night. I'll start with you, Anthony. What are your thoughts on the potential Solo and Randy match at Mania?
I want to say first off that it's an unfortunate position that they're in. So I don't fault the company on trying to speed together a replacement match, essentially, for Randy. I fully get that. Saying that, it's now time for me to pull out the shovel. I've said this multiple times. I don't really see much in Solo Sikoa as a whole. I don't. There's nothing that drives me to go, I want to see more of this guy. Given the opportunity, I am way more interested in seeing Orton against Nick Aldis. Nick Aldis is somebody that should have been to WWE a lot sooner. He got there at the right time, though, because I don't know how he would have done under Vince. But, he's given this authority role, but he's never had that WWE match opportunity. He's excelled as a GM, probably one of the best ones that's ever been in the company. This is a guy that held the NWA title for over 1,000 days. He's the one that put Billy Corgan's NWA on his back and tried to bring that company back into prominence. So I'm 100% more interested in an Orton Nick Aldis match than I am an Orton Solo Sikoa match, and I think a lot of people feel that way. I know they've teased Aldis against Adam Pearce at some point. Both former NWA World Champions, both never been in WWE in a competitive capacity. But yeah, I would have way more interest in Orton and Aldis, to be perfectly honest. And I think that would be a significantly better match. Solo's in these matches with these people, but every one of them he pretty much loses. So I don't really get. I know they're trying to push him. I get it, but it ain't doing nothing for me.
Yeah, you know what? This is a difficult one because I don't think Solo is undeserving of a Mania match.
No,
And this is actually, there's a comment I'll show from MDB, since this was a pretty good comment that he had in regards to the topic. So everyone crying and moaning over who is and who isn't getting on the WrestleMania match, but Solo might be the most deserving person not on the card currently.
I would argue the Street Profits and the tag teams of the SmackDown division are a heck of a lot more deserving of a match than Solo Sikoa at a WrestleMania, if I'm going to be perfectly honest.
I mean, you got people like Chelsea Green. You got a lot of people like Sheamus. I mean, there's a lot of people that aren't on the docket, and that's the thing with Mania. It is a catch-22.
Yep.
But I don't think if you're not on the card, it means doomsday for anybody.
Mhm.
It's just what's hot right now. Like, you look at a match like Jade and Naomi, right? It is not for a title, but the feud itself is so hot and so captivating. Then how could you not have it at Mania, right? It really depends. And I feel like situations like that is how it gets played. But I also think, like I said, Catch 22, I think that's why we have a lot of these multi-people match to get people on the card. So it is kind of I don't think anybody is going to be happy by at the end of the day of however we pitch it. There is going to be a problem within every situation. But if Solo is the opponent, I mean, it's an interesting one. He's one of those heels that could take the L and it kind of being like that. We
It
do
doesn't hurt him at this point because I think you either like him or you don't at this point. So I don't really think it necessarily hurts him because he's lost plenty, honestly.
Yeah, we got a couple comments also want to get through. We got Clark saying all this would be incredible because you can still bring back the punt given his and Randy's history. And all this can still go too. I think people, like you mentioned, I think people forget Burke can really, like, he's not even old. He's actually a lot younger than Randy.
He is younger. He's mid-30s, I believe.
Yeah, he's
I'm
like
not mistaken.
36, 37. So
Yeah.
And then MDB also saying Solo pretty much carried the bloodline story on his back majority of last year. He's far more deserving the prophets who've been lukewarm till recently. I mean, that is honestly, I'll agree with him on the point that they have kind of been lukewarm until recently. But they're, like, to your point also, the emphasis on the tag division has kind of been there. And it's a little surprising that the match isn't on Mania.
It's on the
but
SmackDown and not the Mania, yeah.
yeah. I mean, Megan, I got to ask you the same thing. What are your thoughts on Solo versus Randy? Is it something that and I got to also emphasize this to everybody. With the situation, right? Is this a good replacement for Kevin? Because obviously we was going to get Kevin and Randy, but that got stripped away from us due to the injury.
I'm not crazy about it either. Given Kevin's injury, and it's not to any fault of Solo, because I really feel like Solo was they shot a rocket on his back all last year and just shot him all the way to the top, probably way too quickly. And when they put him up against Cody, for him not to take the title off of Cody, it kind of left him in limbo. And now we have this build with Jacob Fatu while Tama Tonga is kind of in stagnant. He's like in real stagnant energy right now. He's just the third wheel, unfortunately. So for Randy and Solo to be the replacement match for Randy and Kevin, it does feel like a last minute attempt in giving Randy a WrestleMania match. It's just not fulfilling. It's like an appetizer, but it's not fulfilling. The way that whole setup happened yesterday, I would rather it be Jacob Fatu. That's who I would rather see Randy go up against. And maybe Randy will show himself, because I do believe Jacob has a title opportunity at WrestleMania against LA Knight. So,
yes,
maybe Randy will somehow get his payback then. I don't know. But, yeah, in all honesty, it just feels like we promised Randy a match and we got to give it to him. So, Solo Europe. That's just how it feels to me. I'll still watch it. I'll still entertain the match because I do enjoy watching Solo and I do enjoy watching Randy. But it's not a match that I'm overly excited to watch.
And I think that is a fair statement. But I'll also say this, though. Solo Sikoa he was in the match on Netflix versus Roman Reigns in the Tribal Combat. So, I mean, it makes sense for him to be on the card and be the replacement. I think more or less for me, it's just I think I'm just real bummed that Kevin isn't on the card. Like
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
feel
think
I
that's
feel the
more or less
yeah.
same
what it
way.
is.
I feel the same way. I just feel like after all the things that they had Solo do last year, he took a drastic
Mm.
backseat to Jacob. Drastic.
Mm.
Like when he disappeared for that little bit of time and Jacob had to stand, kind of like stand
Yeah.
up. And now with Jacob kind of like bucking at him, like he's telling
Mm.
him, like, look, you don't run me. Not anymore.
Yeah.
I'm a free
And
man,
I
I'm a
really thought we were gonna get Jacob and Solo
I,
off the
I,
I
build
would have
to it.
preferred to see that.
Yeah, I agree
honestly, I
with that.
think it's one of those things with the new bloodline. I always thought Jacob was the true breakout star of that group,
Sure.
and I think Tama Tonga would have been number 2. I think Solo would have been number 3 by default because Tonga Loa just is not good.
Yeah.
I honestly, if you're not going to get Orton and Jacob, I would have been fine with Orton against Tama Tonga because I actually think that would have been a really good match.
Over Solo?
Yes.
Wow. That's a
I
take.
don't know. I don't know because I
I
really
like
feel
Tama
like
Tonga. That's a take though, because he hasn't been positioned as a singles guy.
Well,
he had it, and that's the fault of booking.
Yeah.
Like I feel like they've been really trying to set them two up as a tag team, Tama Tonga and Tongaloa, and with Tongaloa getting injured, now it's
Mhm.
just like, okay, Tama, we still gonna pay you to be on camera. You just gonna be, the cheerleader. You gonna be the
Yeah.
comic relief.
The
That's your
hyenas thing,
job.
yeah.
And I don't like that. I
He's
don't
just
like that for Tama
it's just
Tonga.
mad
I
funny.
really feel like they should.
Oh, because he could cut promos for real. Like we saw it in New Japan. Like dudes
Ah,
got a lot
Billy
of
Mhm.
Clark.
charisma.
Billy Clark is tripping.
Yeah, apparently I'm annoying
Let
people.
me. I want to
Tough.
read. I actually want to read 2 comments, and I want to actually get y'all's idea before we get to the next topic. First and foremost, a little bit ago, Fernando said I prefer Randy versus Aleister Black. I'm gonna specify on that,
Mhm.
or Nick Aldis. Solo is underwhelming, like regular plain cornflakes. That's why we had sugar, bro. You can just put some sugar in it. But so Aleister Black, I want y'all to keep that name. The other
Mhm.
one is good friend Clark Taylor saying Rusev as a mystery opponent against
Could be
Randy would
Rusev
blow the
Day, yeah.
roof off.
Mhm.
Who? So let's just say hypothetically, if we had a you know surprise opponent,
Mhm.
you don't gotta give a reasoning. Just say the name that y'all think. Who would you rather see? Returning Rusev or returning Aleister Black? I'll start with you, Anthony.
Alistair. I think
Aleister.
Alistair would be the interesting one. Um, you know, I think that would either one would work, but of the two, the only reason I wouldn't put either one of those in the position is because I'm assuming Randy was going to go over, and he's probably going to
Yeah.
go over anyway. So for somebody returning, I wouldn't necessarily have them meet a loss. Now, granted, it's Randy, different story. Randy is Randy. It won't necessarily hurt them, but at the same point, it won't. I don't think it'll be as. I don't think it'll hit the same if they came in and they won. You know what I
All
mean?
right. Megan, what about you? Rusev or Aleister Black?
I would say Aleister Black, only because I think the reaction of it being him, especially since his most recent story with AEW, I think it would get a far bigger reaction. But here's how I would book it. I would have the match be Solo and Randy, and unfortunately, I will book Solo to be in a squash match. I would, so Randy gets his win at WrestleMania. And just as Randy is celebrating, when the lights would drop, music will play, Aleister Black will come out.
Mhm.
And they don't have to have a fight. They just have a little face off, little matchup, just a size, two men sizing each other up type of thing. Randy get his win. We get a potential new feud. And, unfortunately, Solo gets, he gets the shorter end of the stick, but
Mm-hmm.
he still get his WrestleMania moment, right? So
Yeah.
technically everyone wins, but that's how I would book it. So I wouldn't have Alistair in a match, no, but I would definitely have him come out and kind of like size Randy up. Like, Kevin is gone, but now I'm here.
That
I
sets up
could be your next
backlash. That's not a
opponent.
bad move.
It's a cool idea. I don't dislike that as well. I wanted my Rusev too, man. He really was on top of the world at
Oh,
one point in
absolutely.
WWE. So I would
Yeah.
like to possibly either or would be cool, but we'll have to wait and see. But let's get to the next topic. Um, we got ourselves another Mania match built, and we had ourselves an incredible gauntlet. And I'm going to be I have to give all the women that were in the tag match credit last night, um, especially Maxine Dupree. Have yourself a round of applause, girl. You were showing out for a little bit yesterday, but Lyra and Bailey ran through the gauntlet. They started off in the closed up shop, and they are the opponents for our tag team champs, Liv and Raquel Rodriguez. And I'll be honest with you, I absolutely hate the idea that Bailey and Lyra are like enemies, virtually like opponents, foes, but they're having this makeshift tag team
Hmm.
and they're going against the champs rather than it be a built up match for these two going at each other at Mania. But I won't lie, the chemistry between them yesterday as a team was very impressive. I was on record on Twitter today. I think Lyra is one of the best bell for bell wrestlers in the women's division on WWE. I just love her move set. She is so fluid. Her striking is so clean. She's got an aerial attack, all of that. I'm super excited for her to get an opportunity at Mania, but she has a title. I would have rather seen her defend that title than be in position in a tag match going against the greatest world champion of all time, Liv Morgan, and Raquel Rodriguez. But that's neither here or there. That's how they book this tag division in a nutshell. Anthony, I'm looking at your face. You don't
Hmm.
seem very amused by this build at all. So, floor is yours, my good man.
Honestly, I don't understand the booking decision. For months, they have been building the SmackDown Tag Division. It's been this whole feud with DIY and the Street Profits and Pretty Deadly and Los Garza. They've been doing different things with the tag division. So I kept thinking, okay, they're probably going to go ladder match at Mania. Why wouldn't you go ladder match at Mania? It is the 25th anniversary since the first triangle ladder match. It would make sense. You would do that. But no, that's getting pushed to the SmackDown before Mania with the Andre Battle Royal that no one cares about. And then they just kind of threw this in there of like, oh yeah, we have women's tag titles. Let's just do a match. There's no feud here, so we'll just throw together teams. We literally just saw Bailey and Lyra beat each other up on Raw, and now they're a tag team and they're getting a tag title shot at Mania. I would complain about this if this was on AEW. I'm complaining about it if WWE's doing it. Will the match do well? Probably. The gauntlet was entertaining. It showed you had a wide variety of talent, but build wise, come on. You spent months building the SmackDown tag division. They don't get a Mania match, but this match that you just threw together is getting a match, and Lyra just won your first mid card women's title, one of your first. Um, and that's not being defended on the show. Like it's a very weird booking decision in my opinion. It's if you were going to do the women's tag title match, build it up. Don't just throw it together and going, here you go. It doesn't do justice to the women in this thing. You're just kind of throwing it together, going, oh, well, you're on the show. But if you don't have a meaningful story and you don't have a sense of urgency of going, this matters, it's a show that it's a match that I don't think the audience is going to particularly respond to, and I think that's a shortfall on them.
And I don't disagree with you on that. Um, we got MDB just being very disrespectful to everybody in the comments, telling us to get a grip. Y'all are acting like this is the first time champions challenge for a different title at WrestleMania.
Oh, remind me,
That's
what show are you on?
that's not. I don't think that's necessarily the point. And even if that is the case, I don't think it's far fetched for us to criticize or critique it, bro. Like if the it's more or less a problem with the I don't even know. Like I just don't see a sense match in play. maybe that can be the wording for it. Like, here's the thing. I think the tag match is going to be phenomenal because I think all four women are sensational wrestlers, right? And that's fine. I'm silenced by that, and I do get it. A lot of people want the fact that it's Mania, stars matter, and that's WWE's mantra. Liv Morgan unapologetically is a big star to the WWE. She's very over. She's very popular. She has the belt. They're gonna find a way to put her on the match. But it's like the ongoing debate that we've had about the tag team division for the women's side, where it's kind of felt a little flat. And then to what Anthony's point is, I don't necessarily disagree. I think out of the two tag titles, I think the one on forget the women's tag match for a second. Oh, you want me to critique another match? The New Day and the War Raiders.
Yes.
That didn't need to be on it compared to the SmackDown tag belts. Like, I think the tag teams in the tag circuit on SmackDown is a little bit hotter than what's going on there. Like, I feel like I didn't see the War Raiders and the New Day wrestle 7 million times already.
I feel like the only reason they did that was they must have something for Big E to do. Like, they want that Mania spot moment, so I'm assuming that's why the New Day one was on there, but the SmackDown should have been the one that was on the show.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, it's a tricky situation. I don't like to say people should or should not be on the card or whatnot. Like, that's kind of just the situation it may be. But I mean, it's neither here or there. Let's step away from SmackDown for a brief second, because I do have something that we got to talk about that is near and dear to the Wrestling Republic fan base, and it is the app called Etsy. If you have an iPhone, go ahead and go to the App Store and download the Etsy app. If you have an Android, you need to grow up, okay? You need to grow up and get an iPhone. But whatever, you have an Android, go to the Google Play Store and download the Etsy app. Once you download it, click to the upcoming stream section, and you will see the good people at Wrestling Republic every Saturday argue and debate with y'all. Today, Clark, the homie Takes, and Big Ant was going over WrestleMania predictions. It was a lot of fun. You can be part of the discourse. So definitely go ahead and download that. Support us, support all of our friends. And let's get to this next topic, because we got to continue to talk about these WrestleMania bills, because we got to build for this one. And I love the fact that he made this an eye for an eye. Drew McIntyre let us know yesterday that his eye is A-OK. Him and Damian Priest continue this feud, man. Drew and him is getting physical. It's getting a little rowdy. And I'm actually here for it. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I know a lot of people have complained about it. I know even Drew said that he felt like in an interview that him and Roman should have, been intertwined in a match, and maybe he should have been in the triple threat matches, a fatal four-way, because he's been approaching Roman for the last few months. But he acknowledges that the history between him and Priest have, and I think that is important. And I also think Damian Priest is one of these guys that is well deserving of a WrestleMania match and moment. Let's not forget, he had the big moment last year with Drew cashing in. So I ask you, Megan, with Drew good eye and all now, how did you like yesterday's segment? And I mean, what's just your overall temperature of excitement between him and Priest going into Mania?
Well, first I want to bring up that I got an Android. Okay, I like my Androids. All right. So when them iPhones, blow up in your faces, don't say nothing. Cause me and my Android, we gonna be good. We gonna be straight.
The ad read backfired on me. I'm sorry.
But that's okay. That's okay. I threw shots at you unwillingly before, so it's cool. It's cool. Friendly fire. I did like the build up yesterday. I did. And the point that you made is valid. Last year Drew was up against Seth for the title, and he won the title only to lose it to Damian Priest. And this feels more like a full circle type of thing. Now, I understand what Drew said by wanting to be involved in what he might feel is a bigger match or a bigger draw, which is the triple threat match. But you we need a break from the Seth, Drew, CM Punk, Drew. We need a break from that. Okay. We just need a break from that. He could pick up on that at a later time. But I do feel like there has always been unfinished business between him and Damian Priest. And yesterday it has reached a peak. I do want to know where Damian Priest got them jeans from, because those jeans was cute. Okay, I did like those. But I just appreciate this build. This is a prime example of long-term story, long-term booking. That is what this is giving. I don't think it's going to wreck clean at WrestleMania. I feel like it's going to spill over. But Drew has something to prove yesterday. Damian tried to take out his eye with the car, London, CM Punk, Jack Perry, Real Glass. He was Jack Sparrow for a couple of weeks, and he proved that his eye is fine. He's ready to take on Damian at WrestleMania. And I don't know. I have no clear indication on who's going to win this match at WrestleMania. I really don't. I'm trying to, put my detective hat on, but I just can't for the life of me choose wholeheartedly who I think is going to take this win at WrestleMania. But two big guys beating each other to death is what wrestling is all about. So honestly, it doesn't matter who wins. I am going to enjoy this match probably way more than the Randy and the Solo match. But yeah, if I had to choose, I'm going New York. I'm going all the way. I'm going with Damian Priest.
Okay. Well,
We
oh
gotta,
man,
we gotta, New York. We gotta,
them
together.
we gotta.
them boys kind of dressed like alike yesterday, but in different ways too. They both had the
But
black
they sure
tank top,
did.
but different
But
type of jeans for sure.
them jeans was definitely giving flair. It was giving 2000. You know, Mandy's store. If a little hot. So I was feeling them jeans though. But yes, I'm definitely rooting for Damian Priest. It's a New York thing. We gotta stand up for each other, And unfortunately, Zelina doesn't have a match. But I'm definitely, yeah, they were the Kendrick Super Bowl jeans. But
He had them Kendrick Hollister jeans on.
but
That's funny.
yeah. I'm definitely looking forward to this match. Absolutely. I think there's a lot of build up animosity between them two.
Yeah, nah, for sure. And I'm here for it. I like Damian Priest personally. I think he's a guy that puts in a lot of work consistently when his number is called. He's played
Yes.
a great heel. He's played a great baby face. That's the telling thing. He serves his purpose, man. I mean, dude, he had a banger with Bad Bunny. Like, I don't think people like understand how amazing that is. Like, him and all the parties involved, but like, he was the rival for Bad Bunny and gave us a classic. And then Drew's that dude, man. He deserves a lot of greatness to whatever is
Yes.
thrown his way too.
Drew. I wasn't always a fan of Drew. Drew was getting on my nerve, especially during that feud with CM Punk. I was like, look, you more obsessed with him than we are. You need to let
Funny
that
thing is, I
obsession
like
go.
this Drew. Maybe I just like heels. When Drew was like the over like sword guy, I was like, this dude is
Yeah.
like kind of not for me. He's a little cheesy.
No, what I'm saying is Hill Drew has definitely grown on me. I
Mhm.
do definitely enjoy this character, even though he was giving a little whiny, he was giving a little victimy, but it has grown on me for sure. So I definitely enjoy his promos when he do cut them.
Listen, it was a missed opportunity last year that they did not release a shirt of him texting by the crowd bored at work. That so many people would have bought that shirt, honestly.
Shoot, I want a shirt with him and Jack Perry next to each other, but
Oh, the buddy one, yeah.
Oh God.
oh man, it's gonna be interesting. I think it's a good storyline, and I'm hyped for the match also at Mania. All right, I don't know why this is an everyone topic, Ben. I feel like you have made this
You think it's a setup?
It's always a setup with Ben Allison, man. I don't trust the man. I don't trust him my whole soul, but we had the greatest match of all time last night. My girlies, man. My NXT girlies. My baby goat, Roxanne Perez, the prodigy, versus Tiffy Time, the world champion Stratton. And I don't care what y'all say. This was a banger of a bout, in the words of Ben Allison. When Roxanne Perez steps in the ring, it's time to lock the F in. Because that woman is one of the best in the damn world, best in the company, men or women. Like, I gotta say this: we need to get her on the main roster full time after Mania.
Mm-hmm.
The girl has done everything she needs to do in NXT. She is going to ascend to star power if given the opportunity. The fact that she has grown into this heel character so well, but it's also the fact that the fluidity of her moves and all of that is so damn good for someone so young. And I thought her and Tiffany, the little backstage segment, had their match. Great match. Charlotte Cher comes in. Charlotte Cher comes ruin everything, ruining the dynamic of me and my co-hosts. All right. And being up on Tiffy Time for no reason. That baggy ass shirt, looking like a homeless person begging for change. You know what I'm saying? All right. Tired of it. I'm tired of Charlotte Cher. And I'm tired of it. I'm not going to be silenced anymore. Do you believe in love after love? No. Not when you're singing it, Charlotte Cher. But we are getting an extension of this match. MDB likes Charlotte Cher, so I know she's trash because MDB doesn't like a lot of great things. I'm sorry. But now we got a continuation of them a little bit light into it. I know they had the little backstage thing. I thought they was at the NXT parking lot and whatnot. I don't know, man. But what are y'all thoughts on the greatness of that match? And because we gotta keep talking about this feud. I'll start with you, Megan, because I know you want to get this off first.
Oh yes. We're not going to ignore that ass whooping that Tiffy Time got outside. Okay, Tiffy Time was her last words. Last words before that flying fist came in. It was belt to ass for Tiffy Time, and I enjoyed every minute of it. Okay, she deserved it. Okay, her mouth wrote her a check her butt couldn't cash 2 times. Okay, she got her behind kicked 2 times yesterday. And I'm going to give Roxanne credit because Roxanne had an upper hand on Tiffany. And I will even go as far as saying I kind of wish it was Roxanne in Tiffany's position. I really do. I kind of wish she was the women's champion. Why? Because it would have never gotten this far with Charlotte. Because Roxanne can hold her own. We've seen it with her and her little moment with Nikki Bella at Royal Rumble. We've seen it with her and Bailey. We've seen it with her and all the other major, the main roster women. Roxanne can hold her own. And I kind of wish it was her in this position. But, I do feel like Roxanne and Tiffany's match yesterday was foreshadowing that there is going to be a feud between them two on the main roster sooner than we think. But it was a good match. And I do hope that Roxanne is pushed up on the main roster after WrestleMania. She should have been pushed up on the main roster after the Royal Rumble because she did her damn thing at the Royal Rumble. She should have been up there. But I know Sean, he's holding on to her. He's not ready to, let her go. So it's fine. That's how we are with all of our children. But yeah, That ass whooping that Tiffany got yesterday was well deserved. I don't feel sorry for it. I enjoyed every minute of it. And yeah, I'm gloating right now. You know, I feel good. The
You
queen
really think she
shall
could beat her
reign
in a shoot
again.
fight? You really think she could beat her in a shoot fight?
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
absolutely not. Tiffany
yeah.
would break her damn jaw if they got in a shoot fight. That woman is a
You
lot
got too much dip on your
stronger.
chip, brother. You got
She
too
will
much dip on your
take
chip.
down her leg
Too
if
much
they got
dip.
in a shoot fight.
Too much dip on your
It's a
chip.
different topic, obviously. Y'all got Tiffy
No,
effed up, bro. Y'all really got her
no.
effed up.
I just don't see it for her.
I
You
don't see
want me
any.
to
I
you
truthfully
want
don't
me to
think. I
see
think Charlotte
her.
Flair is the most overrated women's wrestler of all time.
She could be
I think she's
defeated.
great, and I think she's an icon. I think people put her way higher in the status than
But
she
see,
should
but
be in.
what does that say about you for you blowing up Tiffany, saying she's one of the best wrestlers, women wrestlers
I
in the
was right. I've
division?
been
You
calling this
even said
4
about
years ago
Roxanne.
before when she was a collegiate NIL person, and now she's at Mania. It means
A
I
best, a
know
best,
how to
a
scout.
best wrestler,
I'm Howie Roseman
a
over
best
here.
wrestler can hit every corner. Tiffany is lacking in some stuff,
She's only
my
25
brother.
years
She is.
old. She already let y'all
That don't
know.
mean
Like,
nothing.
it does mean stuff. She has her whole career ahead of her.
Yeah, and right now she's not at her best.
And by the time she gets to Charlotte Flair's age, we can have this conversation.
Okay, and by that time, that's what? That's 14 years. Then we'll pick up this conversation 14 years from now.
I mean, I probably won't be podcasting in 14 years, but
You know,
hopefully
but
I'm making
it's
more
like,
money
but it's
off
like
of this.
Charlotte said, will she be wrestling in 14 years? We don't know that
She
either,
could. You never know. I
or
mean,
not.
I think I don't. Flair is better than her, obviously, off a career aspect of it or whatnot. I'm not denying that. I'm just saying in general, I think the masses put Charlotte Flair way higher in a pedestal to her other counterparts. I
Doesn't
think
make her
she
no
is
different. We
easily.
had this conversation before. It doesn't put her in no other position than any other nepo baby who is a second, third, or fourth generation wrestler. It doesn't. They say the same thing about Randy. He's a third generation wrestler.
But
Say that about Cody, and
Randy
he's a
is
second generation
extremely
wrestler.
skilled at his craft, though, and he's better than his father by a lot.
Or so you think. Some people might disagree.
So if we did a poll of who's better, Randy Orton or Bob Orton, you think people are picking Bob Orton?
Some people might. But you're also comparing Charlotte, who's a woman, to her father, who's a man. Now,
And
what
I don't think
other second and third
but that's
generational
not a fair
wrestler
comparison. Ric Flair is one of the greatest of all time.
would you say Tessa Blanchard is better than her father?
No.
What about Zaya Brookside?
I don't even know who Zara Brookfire is.
From TNA.
Who's her
She's a
dad?
wrestler too.
Robbie Brookside.
Oh, is that really her dad?
Yes.
I don't know much about Zara Brookside. I apologize.
Yeah, but the point that I'm making is this: when it comes down to women wrestlers who is coming into the business who have fathers or grandfathers that are
Yeah, but I'm
wrestlers,
not
they
putting
are
her in that debate with Rick though. The Nepo baby portion isn't my thing. Is she? So you're saying a lot of it is she's being? I'm not even saying she's being pushed because of Rick. I'm not even trying to disrespect to that standpoint. I don't think she is as big of a person that should be positioned as much as she has been positioned. And I think at this point in time, I don't think you need her to be one of these main event matches at Mania. I would have shuffled the cards up. I would have maybe had a Bianca in this match versus somebody, or had Bianca and Rhea and had Io versus somebody in this match. I don't think we need to have Charlotte pushed into main events. Like, she's not as needed as people think she's needed anymore. I'm saying it more so of the standpoint, I think the women's division is so strong right now. Well, I don't think Flair is as over as a lot of other women on the roster right now. That's a Liv Morgan. That's a Io Sky. That's a Bianca Belair. That's a Rhea Ripley. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a
and
lot
you
of
know that,
women.
and I'm gonna put it this way, and you may agree or may not agree, but the only reason why you feel that Charlotte is being pushed up over everybody else is because your homegirl
It's
Becky
not
is
because
not in the picture.
it has nothing to do with. She could be
If Becky was in the picture, she would be booked much higher than Charlotte right now. because she
she's
will be
better.
going up against the title. But that is your opinion, bro.
You know, I'm saying that's my opinion, but we're having this discourse because it's opinion versus opinion. That's what the debate is about, ain't it?
Yeah.
It ain't
So
nothing
if I
serious. It's
say
just
so,
friendly
it so
banter.
and it is. It is. We not look. This is for entertainment purposes only. Okay, I still love Shad as much before the show as I will after the show, but Shad likes to beat my head over Charlotte because he don't like Charlotte, and I do. So this is always going to be a debate between me and Shad. We even went and did take it to the table over Becky because he felt like Becky was the greatest woman
And I
of
made
all
a,
time.
by the way, I made a big claim the other day, and there's someone knocking on the door for Becky at GOAT status, and she's not on the WWE roster.
Dude.
CEO. All right.
I'm not gonna touch that, but okay.
Yeah, Mercedes Moné over Sasha Banks right now. That's all I gotta say. Anthony, I do want you to talk. You saw her greatness too.
Oh, I have a speaking role in this? Okay.
Yeah, you can talk. Go ahead, bro.
No, of that debate, just I take Becky over Charlotte personally. But in this situation, Roxanne, I've seen a lot in her from the very first time I saw her, which was in Ring of Honor. She has a lot of range, both as a babyface and as a heel. She's turning it up as a heel. I see more in her than I do Tiffany, to be perfectly honest, because I think she's more versatile. She could do a babyface and a heel. Tiffany's not doing well as a babyface right now, and it's being exposed by Charlotte time and time again. This is one of those situations where I think WWE is doing the right thing, which they typically do in these situations where there's this perceived real life heat between these two individuals. They're making money from it. They have a track record of doing this. Brett and Sean, Charlotte and Becky, Matt Hardy, Edge and Lita. They've done this before and they've made it work. And when you're able to blur the lines, that gets you, that's some interest there. And I think they did the smart thing. They did the parking lot segment. They did, obviously, last night when she jumped her post match. I think there's more interest in it because they're blurring the lines right now. And I think that's a smart move.
And okay, we're going overtime. Sorry, Ben Allison. You made this the last topic for a reason because you knew this was going to get dicey. And I hope we gave you 5,000 reels for you to post on your Instagram, bro. Let me say this first and foremost. In the comparison between Tiffany and Roxanne, I'm not mad at that. I've been on record. Roxanne Perez was arguably the best women's wrestler in pro wrestling last year. That's not something that you can make a debate with, but from the title reigns, match qualities, all of that, she is next level. And I can say we all agree to that. And this is a topic that this is something I've been saying for a while. This is a hard conversation that a lot of people might not want to take. Because this is how WWE operates, right? And I hate seeing people potentially lose jobs, whatever it may be. NXT has a crop of women on their roster that is going to literally just take over once they get called up. That is Roxanne Perez. That is Stephanie Vaquer. You know what I'm saying? That is Julia. That's Jada Parker. That's Sol Ruka. Like, they have a lot of women. And now that they have mid-card titles, I think the transition gets a little bit easier. My issue is Roxanne Perez. I don't know what we're doing with her in the road to WrestleMania. Like, the idea that this woman can be second in the Royal Rumble and have the longest tenure record in the Royal Rumble to not be doing shit after that, to being a makeshift tag match to probably get on stand deliver. That's a lack of resources, in my opinion. I mean, can we agree to that?
Yeah, I think the reason they're putting her quasi on the main roster but not actually signed, I guess they're trying to treat her as like a hot free agent from NXT, or multiple people want her, which is smart from the perception standpoint that they're trying to get her. Should she have a more prominent match to stand and deliver? Yes. What we don't know is maybe they did have something in the works and it fell through. I always thought that they were going to possibly try to get AJ Lee to face her because they've teased it a few times with Punk and her. So I think that's a possibility that maybe they floated that and it didn't, and it fell through. I don't know. I'm recklessly speculating, but I think they probably did have something in the works, and maybe we don't know about it. I don't know, or maybe it is bad booking.
Right.
I don't know. This again, just a guess.
Charlotte is a city in North Carolina. Oh, I mean, her name is Ashley, but you know.
That hasn't changed. Last name has a few times.
And then we got permission from Clark to go overtime,
Wow.
so we lit. He said, "Just blame me. It's all good." MDB says that Tiffany Stratton was in limbo last year, like Roxanne. Now she's a champ. Just saying, be patient, Shad. Yo, bro, don't tell me what to do, dog. You talking to me like that? Nah. I mean, I'm sure that might be the case. I think the thing is this, man. Mania is like it's here pretty much, right? It's next
Yes.
week.
Mhm.
We're set with it. A lot will be said to what happens after Mania.
Mhm.
I think I think the roster needs to be shaken the hell up. Like I
It
think,
probably will. It probably will.
yeah, but like, yeah, we need to shake some stuff up. I need to see the tag teams flipped up a little bit. Some of these people on SmackDown, I need to see them on Raw. Maybe like a DIY, maybe your Motor City Machine Guns on Raw.
Mhm.
Some of these mid card guys. Um, a lot needs to happen. DC Warlord said Mello needs a match. Mello needs a storyline because I don't give a shit about this Miz stuff, man.
Melo kind of lost his groove after the him run in NXT. After he lost the title, he kind of lost a lot of momentum.
Yeah, but the talent is still there. Like the
The
charisma and
talent's there.
all of
I'm just
that
saying the
is there.
momentum,
Yeah, the
the
moment.
momentum and the confidence that just it doesn't play the same way it did when he had the banners, and he was a big deal.
The thing with him is that I feel like they position him to be kind of like the cocky mid card guy that loses to like marquee people.
I,
But like now he's in a tag team with the Miz.
Honest to God, and I think somebody mentioned this. It might even been Ignacio. I don't even remember. But I saw this somewhere. Somebody suggested because Trick is kind of floating too. Get the two of them back together in like a Harlem Heat type tag team, and I think you could probably do well with that. That might reignite them because that was their greatest success when they were together. It wouldn't be a bad move, and then you could eventually do the split of the single thing once they get their
The tag.
groove back together. It's not
I
a
mean,
bad move.
Trick got a bit of a heel persona to him.
Yeah.
I'll end off on this. MDB, is there anything that you dislike that WWE is doing? I must know because you have come in defense to every single thing that they've done, and I'm at a point where I'm just like, maybe I'm the problem here. Maybe I have the muddy glasses and vision where I think everything sucks because I don't think everything sucks, but man, I can't make one criticism, bro. I need to give everything patience. I might need to go to therapy for this road to WrestleMania, but
Mhm.
that's neither here or there. This was a fun episode of the Wrestling Republic Daily Broadcast. Um, to my fans in the comments that dislike everything that I said, I apologize to Megan. It's all love. Sending you a heart over there.
Like I said, I'm knocking on 40, you know? I didn't make it this far being handed, treated with kid gloves. I can handle my own. It was a good debate. I know they are going to put that all on. Excuse me. Are you saying I'm the problem? I don't know. I don't know because DCX Warlord, you've been doing a whole lot of mouth service in the chat, and you keep saying Charlotte needs to retire. She's not. She's not. Okay.
You
She's
already
gonna
hit
be
me with
there.
my. You already hit my outro.
She's not. Okay. She's gonna be there. So,
Okay,
you
hold
know.
on. Before we leave though, because this man has commented this like 945 times today.
What we got?
He really wants us to tell us who he thinks is going to win this triple threat match. Kaz OG, who do you think will win at Mania? Bianca, Io, or Rhea? He says Bianca. We'll close out with that. I
Mhm.
will start with you, Megan. Who you got?
I'm going with the EST of WWE. My sissy, Bianca Belair.
Anthony.
I think it's Bianca because I think she's still behind the Jade thing. I think her and Naomi are together. So I do think that it's Bianca.
Anybody but Rhea Ripley should win that match. I am so sorry. Look, Rhea Ripley is the most over damn star in the women's division, man. And I understand. She is an absolute
Wait a minute.
powerhouse.
Over than Charlotte?
Oh,
Yeah.
here we
Over
go.
Charlotte?
Come on.
I don't think we
I
have
just
time to
want
go
to
2 hours.
Rhea damn near.
No,
Rhea's is about as like maybe a smidget less over than Cody Rhodes.
I
When
just wanted
this
that.
is my brutality hits, people go crazy. You know what I'm saying? You know, she got her aura is impeccable.
Yeah.
Until I need to like miss her a little bit away from the title. Like their
Right.
title reigns with her have been so whatever, and it has nothing
You
to do
are
with her. I just
wildin'. You
need
just say
WWE to like hit the books to be like, all right, how do we really book her as champ?
you
Don't
are
know how to
a
book her as
damn
champ.
liar, Warlord. A damn liar. Okay, you are a liar, and the truth is not in
I
you.
didn't go that far. I won't say Charlotte is Goldberg.
You
Maybe
are
more Gilbert, but not Goldberg.
you are bugging.
No, I love the people that flip out, like try to compare them to
Gilbert.
try to compare like Becky to Hogan or some stuff. It's like no, they give back. There's a difference.
Yeah.
You know, it's just it's kind of funny with this. It just really is.
Yes.
But I got I got Bianca winning too. I'll make it a clean sweep. That's man. I could see EO potentially winning, but I think they have a vision for Bianca as champ. But yeah, watch Rhea end up winning. But that's neither here or there. Thank y'all for rocking with us. This was a fun episode. Shad Talks grabs Megan, Anthony, in the words of Jay Uso, who will beat Gunther, by the way. Deuces, ooses.